Slabby Maguire. Our defence is terrified, yes, Slabby Maguire. Our defensive terrified if this fucking guy stays. Because goodness me, own goals galore if this guy ever plays for us. He's an absolute sharter. Let's talk about it though. So it's now reported, guys, that West Ham have left the race for Harry Maguire. Oh, come on. It just gets shitter and shitter, doesn't it, this, guys? Hang on, let me pop that back up on the screen. It just gets shitter and shitter. So, Fabrizio Romano reporting that West Ham have decided to leave the race for Harry Maguire as things stand. After trying again, but getting no green light from Manchester United. He's no longer on West Ham's list at this stage. And that means that the only real option for West Ham, I suppose, it's beyond their control then. The only real option for West Ham would be to try and loan him. It seems like United have blocked that, and now because of that, West Ham are out of the race. They know there's no real possibility of bringing in Harry Maguire. I mean, I think if they really wanted him, they could just pay a little bit more, like 35 million, and then we could just put that 5 million on top of the Slabo, settlement and get him gone. He's only got a few years left on his deal. To make up the difference, it would be a few million a year. So you're talking about having to give this guy a 9 million quid golden handshake or something just for him to fuck off. And he obviously doesn't want to do that because he's a really big bollocks defender, mate. He basically looks in the mirror. He doesn't see the slab that we see. When he looks in the mirror, he sees Paolo Maldini looking back at him, this twat. And he reckons he's one of the best, apparently. That's why he doesn't want to go and play for West Ham. No, he's holding out for Real Madrid or Barcelona to come in for him, this guy. You know, he doesn't want to go and play for a mid-table side, even though that's the best that he could possibly do. Got Højlund, now we're looking for Hojbjerg. So, it looks like there maybe is a little bit of truth to this situation. Let's have a look at the updates. Look, so Hojbjerg is apparently being discussed by Manchester United at this moment in time. There are talks on at the minute. So there is some breaking news earlier on today, from various outlets, Sky Sports and other outlets reporting that Manchester United have started talks with Tottenham and Pierre-Emile Hojbjerg's side over a possible deal. Spurs want around £35 million, seeing as United are a Premier League rival. Oh, I don't know how I feel about this one, guys. I mean, actually, I do think he's a pretty decent player. I don't think he's as bad as a lot of people are making him out. I think he's a pretty decent acquisition. If you look at what we need, we do need a defensive midfielder. That's what we need. So in terms of the style of play that he is, yeah, okay. It maybe makes a bit of sense. Does he have some sort of previous with our coaching staff? Yes. Is he available right now because he's not really wanted at Spuds? I guess so, yes. But isn't that a big red flag in itself for you guys? You know, what the hell? If somebody doesn't want a player at Spurs, they must be shite. That's kind of what I'm thinking there. Obviously, look, it's not quite as simple as that. Postecoglou's got his way of playing that he's going to want to do things. If he doesn't think that Højbjerg's involved with that particular system, and if Ten Hag and United feel like this guy could come in and do a job for us, that's great. But it seems like Tottenham are interested and open to a sale of Højbjerg, and it's known that Højbjerg's camp has been talking to Manchester United about the potential of us tabling a bid. So this is what's reported anyway, that Tottenham are open to allowing Pierre-Emile Højbjerg to leave the club if suitable offers come in for him. Nothing is close at this stage amid reported interest from Man United. So there is no real official offer on the table or anything like that. But he has been offered to Manchester United from Højbjerg's side of things, essentially. Lots of updates from all outlets suggesting that he is being discussed at United right now. So we'll see. This is Dharmesh Sheth from Sky Sports, who says that Manchester United continue to assess midfield options and are still looking to recruit in that area in the final few days of the window. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg has emerged as the latest potential option, with United being offered the chance to speak to the player. So we've been offered to speak to him, basically. His representatives have offered him to Manchester United. That is the situation. Does that translate to us actually going to sign him? Well, we'll see. We've got a few different days, few different options left in these final days to go and get, obviously, somebody. We could get Gravenberch, we could get Amrabat, we could get Højbjerg. But in terms of like who we're linked to, loads of different links, of course. Let's have a look at this. So this is via Statman Dave, who's just compiled a list on social media. And these are all the players that we've been linked to just in the last few days alone. Who says that in the last few days, Man United have been linked with Marc Cucurella, Sergio Reguilon, Marcos Alonso, Leonardo Spinazzola, Rico Henry, Nicolas Tagliafico, Ryan Gravenberch, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, Sofian Amrabat. Who were they signed in the last few days? Fucking hell! We're linked to all these players And we haven't actually gone in and acquired properly or bid or anything for any of these guys. I mean, I can see us getting none of those players, to be honest. You know, that's the sort of club we are. We're inquiring for everybody, and we don't actually follow through on hardly anybody. We were you, lad. 100%. Why the fuck would we not go and try and get Palhinha if we're on about spending significant amount of cash on a midfielder? Palhinha, he's the one. He's the one, mate. I completely agree with you, bud. He's playing for a bang average mid-table side at best. He would relish the opportunity of playing for Manchester United. He's built like a big shithouse and tackles like one. You know, he's a fucking machine in the defensive midfield area. Somebody to go alongside Cassie. Somebody to play instead of Cassie. He would be absolutely fantastic. The only problem is he's going to cost a lot more than Hojbjerg or Sofyan Amrabat. And Man United are bargain basement shoppers, mate. We don't necessarily want to go in there and, spend significant amount of money, 50, 60 million pounds, and it might take even more maybe, to go and get Palhinha from Fulham, because we are complete crumble jobs financially, even though we shouldn't be. We should be the most powerful club in the world. So Jay Burt from The Telegraph reporting that Manchester United have quoted 45 million pounds to interested clubs for Scott McTominay. Oh, for fuck's sake, mate. You what? Oh, my goodness me. Here's a piece of gold-encrusted turd, freshly laid from a large stallion in the field. Would you like to buy this freshly laid turd for £7,000? No, you wouldn't, would you? Because it's fucking turd. And nobody spends £7,000 on turd. The same as nobody spending £45 million on Scott McTominay. The guy's an absolute bottle bank of a player. So because of that, you know, it's just too much money, guys, and that's not going to convince teams to go and sign Scott McTominay. We're not going to get 45 million smackaroonies for Scotty McShotomy. What are we thinking? So if that's the case, I think we're just pricing him out of a move. We've already priced him out of a move once this summer by not allowing him to go to West Ham. It's a debacle. So, look, if we can get him for a good amount of money, get gone out of the football club, i.e. 30 million quid, then that's good money to reinvest in a good player. Based on abilities, based on talent, based on, you know, consistent performances in the league over the last 4 years or so, he is worth a 30 million max. Okay, he's got that international pedigree playing with Scotland, if that's what you want to call it. Pedigree playing for Scotland doesn't often come in the same sentence. But you know what I mean? He does play for Scotland. He is good for Scotland. He's a big player for Scotland. So, yes, he's got a little bit of pedigree, I suppose, there on the international stage. But, look, he's obviously just an average sort of a guy. He's a squad player. He's a squad player for any top Premier League side.